Hi, this is Z, and I'm back again with another video. Today, I wanted to read a little bit out of this book, Demon Hit List by John Eckhart. Um, I wanted to talk about some of the demons or the spirits or energies, however you look at it, um, that influence people, and that you can usually tell by their behavior. Now, what made me really look into this was recently I saw a person um walk past me. um is somebody that I know, and they walked past me, and I saw something what looked like um a shadow following closely behind them. It cast a shadow over the room. And so at first I wasn't really sure about what I saw. I saw it again, and it looked like a shadow cast over the room and blocking out the light as the person passed by me. And I was like, well, I'm not sure if that is attached to the person or not. So I didn't really think much about it. But then there was a time where the person went quickly by me, and it wasn't it wasn't only that I saw the shadow cast, but I actually saw something attached to the person following closely behind the person. So what made me think that it's possibly attached to the person was that when the person moved normally, it just kind of moved normally, and then when the person moved quickly, it moved quickly. So it was moving at the pace that the person was moving, except for it was behind the person. So it didn't frighten me, because I do understand that people do have spirits or demons or whatever, that they can have attachments to them. But that just made me kind of interested. I don't know the person um deeply like that. I don't know the person that well like that to really know what the demon is there for. I don't know their behaviors too well to know what the demon is there for, what it would be influenced, if it's a demon, or what the spirit, I should say, because I'm not sure if it's a demon or not. But it kind of made me want to look into this book. Um, First off, I want to say that if you ever see something attached to someone, or you perceive something to be attached, because sometimes you can see something in a dream, or you can see it, like I said, I didn't see the details of what was following behind this person, but I did see several occasions that there was something trailing this person. So I would say not to be afraid, um, but to maybe, if this is somebody you care for, maybe to watch their behavior, because that can tell you usually what that spirit is there for, what it's there to do, why it's attached to that person, the behaviors that it's causing in that person. Don't get afraid, because when you get afraid, then you can become paralyzed with fear, and then nothing changes, not for the better, at least. So in this case, I would say maybe monitor, especially if the person's close. If you don't really know this person, I probably wouldn't get involved unless that person specifically comes to you and asks for help, because sometimes people get offended if you may try to give them advice or tell them something that they don't know. So, but if you know the person and you know that they will not um, come against you or turn on you, I would say probably monitor their behavior and pray against that spirit. Or just, if you know, you know, based off of the relationship, the connection you have with that person, if you can tell them what you are seeing or what you feel or whatever. But I will always first pray about it, because even if you may think that you have that type of relationship, um, if you go to something so personal as this, and that could be traumatizing to that person, they may not be ready to hear it. They may turn against you. They may want to destroy you. And so you have to be very careful how you handle it. But if it's a child of yours, say you see this spirit attached to your child, pray against that demon and start working on um, redirecting that child's behavior, implementing something so that you can change that child's behavior. So something like that, yeah, dive right into it, start working against that energy, because you don't want that on your child or yourself. You may see something on yourself, or you just may notice by your own behavior that there's something that you need to start praying against and working against. So I wrote down a few things that we usually see. We'll usually talk about having generational curses. And so most people will understand that there's things that are passed down from generation to generation, that is hard for people to get out of. That's usually the things we see, like addiction, um, alcoholism, adultery, gluttony, jealousy and envy, greed, and abuse. And abuse can be physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and molestation. Those are the usual things that we see and that we recognize, that is passed down generation to generation, along with illness. People, when doctors are saying, oh, it's hereditary, usually that is something of a curse, something that is in your bloodline, because you cannot really pass down things like diabetes and stuff like that. They'll say that you can, but some illnesses really are not passed down. It is a curse. It's something that is passed down through energetically, or a spirit or something like that. It's not passed down through your blood, so to speak, but through the energy. So I'm gonna look up some other ones that people may not really notice, that are spirits. Most people will notice, especially if you go through spiritual warfare, you'll start to notice that there's a lot more demons, a lot more spirits that influence people's behavior. But most people don't really look, most people that are not going through spiritual warfare, either they won't really realize that there are generational curses, there are demons and energy that are in their family lineage or bloodline that's passed down, or just in their family. Um, but most people will um, realize the ones that I've named already, those surface ones where somebody's drinking or doing drugs, and then you'll see where the parents will pass that down to their children. The children will go on to do it, and then the grandchildren will go on to do it. But the spirits that people usually, there's a lot of spirits that people don't usually understand that are connected to curses, and that are connected to demons. And I listed 8 of them. I'm just going to go through 8. I'm not going to do the whole book, of course, because that's too much. But the first one I have is on page 21, Abaddon or Apollyon. I'm not sure how to pronounce those, but those are the spirits of destruction. It says destruction, destroyer, a place of destruction, the depths of hell, works with spirits of death, hell, and the grave, Hades. And I also coupled that with looking at, on page 42, the actual spirit of destruction, which is ruin, devastation, calamity, works with pride, poverty, death, misery, also operates through generational curses. So a lot of people are stuck in, especially with pride and poverty. We really see those being prideful and refusing to change, that usually will lead you down a path to destruction. And I've seen where people are leading their children down the path to destruction because they are very prideful. So those are things that they will that you can pass down. Usually it's not just those ones named. Usually drugs, alcohol, um abuse, those lead to destruction. So when you're praying, if you know specifically something like a child of yours is drinking too much, pray. Don't just pray against the spirit of alcohol. Pray against destruction, because those are things, there are things that lead to destruction. Most of these demonic spirits and demonic strongholds and curses lead to destruction. Pray against poverty and pray against destruction, because they're going to lead you, that can lead you down the path to destruction. People do lots of things to not be poor. So pray against, always include destruction, no matter what it is. Include praying against destruction, the spirit or the demon of destruction. Okay. I just talked about abuse. I'm going to read what he has in this book under abuse. So abuse is offense, mistreatment, torment, criticism, cursing, exploitation, perversion, hurt, sexual abuse, mental abuse, which is mind control and domination, physical abuse, beaten, bruised, cruelty, religious abuse, legalism, control, guilt, shame, cults, emotional abuse, hurt, deep hurt, wounds, doormat, makes others walk all over a person, unforgiveness, bitterness, hatred of abuser, anger, resentment, fear of hurting, of being abused, memory recall, break curses of abuse and cast out related spirits of abuse. So there's different, as I just read, there's different energies, there are different ways, different types of abuse that fall under the category of abuse. Pray against abuse and be specific. I talked about this many times, being specific about what you're praying against. And a lot of us may need to do further research, because a lot of us don't realize we pass down abuse through our bloodlines. We think, oh, my parents did it this way and I turned out fine. But a lot of those spirits of abuse, abusing your children, abusing your husband, abusing your wife, can lead to destruction. It can lead to trauma, and the other person, the person that is abusing and the person that is abused, can cause those people to become destructive, where you repeat the cycle of abuse and you become destructive, and and it can lead you to other things like drugs and alcohol. So a lot of us parents especially need to be mindful of not, we need to be careful not to abuse our children. Don't do it because it was done to you. A lot of people go back to, oh, my parents used to whip me with the extension cord. That's not, it's really not okay. My mother or whoever used to hit me with this thing or this object, with the hangers or whatever. That is actually abuse, and children really don't need that type of discipline. There are other ways to discipline your children, and that it shouldn't be through abuse. So we have to be careful. Pray for that in yourself, and not only just pray against it, but actually work against abusing your children. Refrain, practice self-control, pray for self-control, pray to you know figure out a way to handle your children, redirect them or work with them, and so that you're not always resulting to physical abuse or verbal abuse and things of that nature. So the next one I wanted to look at was hindrance. And hindrance is kind of long, and it has in parentheses blockage and obstruction. Spirits that hinder, block, and obstruct. No love, no help, no friends, no success, no lodging, no pity, no understanding, no wisdom, no relief, no rest, no resolution, no power, no ability, no light, no healing, no deliverance, no happiness, no joy, no victory, no control, no future, no liberty, no discernment, no prosperity, no breakthrough, no direction, no name, no identity, no confidence, no peace, no open doors, no money, no job, no sense, no way, no value, no worth, no presence of God, no anointing, no blessings, no communication, no growth, no order, no support, no morals, no escape, no commitment, no faithfulness, no self control, no chance, no opportunity, no family, no transportation, no mobility, no break, no time, no room, no space, no health, no strength, no home, no satisfaction, no vision, no counsel. These spirits are also the result of curses. So many of you under spiritual warfare, you know, this is one of their main ones, hindrance. And then I'm going to read quickly obstruction, which is on page 77. Obstacle, hindrance, blockage, barrier, resistance, difficulty, block. Many spirits of blockage and obstruction, including choking, closed doors, cut off at the source, gag, muzzle, shackle, bind, check, halt, bring to a standstill, and so on. So people will notice when people are trying to hinder you or obstruct you from being successful, it will seem like they work to cut off everything. They'll make you lose your job. They'll do black magic to make you lose your car. Something happens to your car and your car is not working. They'll make you lose your friends. They'll cut you off from having friends, or cut you off from having family members to support you. They will make it very difficult for you to move forward. They try to cut anything off from you that would help you to move forward, even in the least bit. So we know those of us under spiritual warfare, that is a big factor. That is the main tool they use, and demonic energies they send to you is or curses that they do, and spells are have to do with hindering you, blocking you, just making you give up altogether. Okay, so fear is another one. People don't realize that fear is not a natural thing. It is also something that is of a low vibration or demonic. Fear of making wrong decisions, fear of rejection, being hurt, judgment, authority, failure, man, darkness, being alone, death, witchcraft, heights, demons, deliverance, losing salvation, disapproval, accusation, being wrong, spiritual gifts, responsibility, marriage, having children, pain, sickness, confrontation, cancer, driving, insanity, heart attack, the future, crowds, horror, panic, fright, sudden fear, terror, dread, apprehension causes torment. So those of you, that's another thing they send to you. They may send you the energy or the demonic energy of fear, so that you will be paralyzed and not move forward or not see a way out of a situation. Be afraid to be around other people, be afraid to um, look for a new job, be afraid to drive, be afraid to do all these different things so that you won't move forward. In a sense, you'll be blocking yourself. So not only are they working to block certain opportunities and certain things from you, they will instill fear, they'll put the energy or send the energy of fear to you so that you will block yourself. So a couple more, I'm not going to really read deeply into it because this video is getting long, but laziness and slothfulness, lust, resistance and rebellion, and slavery. And slavery does not have to be in a sense of you being shackled and you have a slave and a master, but it is a mindset of always being underneath someone, working for someone, um, have letting someone overpower you, dominate and control. And um, those of you going through spiritual warfare, you may have noticed that you may have allowed these people to do witchcraft on you, paralyzed in fear, thinking there's nothing you can do. Because I know this happened to me. And in a sense, you become a slave to them. They're pulling on your energy, using your energy to manifest, and you allowing it, and you not really trying to understand or figure out what is happening to you. You're just allowing it to happen because you're paralyzed with fear. So that's a form of slavery, allowing these people to work on you and siphon your energy and things like that. They're using you as a source of wealth, as a source of income, or whatever they're trying to manifest with your energy. In a sense, you become a slave. So I just want to go over these things. I would suggest this book. I got it from Amazon. It's not that, I think I paid maybe around $10, somewhere around that. I don't remember. But look into these energies, and those of you who are struggling to move forward, and especially if you're under spiritual attack, you're in spiritual warfare, you know, recognize you may not necessarily need the book, but the book is helpful because a lot of times people don't understand that certain behaviors, certain ways of thinking is due to an energy that is not of your own. And the last video I did is when your thoughts are not your own. So this can be the same thing. Some things you may feel or you may end up behaving in a certain way isn't yours. It's coming from an outside source. So this book will help you to recognize those types of energies, what someone could be sending your way, or what you could have picked up somewhere, what you need to start cleansing yourself from, and praying against, because sometimes that stuff is hard to get rid of. It takes time, it takes dedication. But a lot of times, if you're at the point where you're fed up and you're tired of struggling, you're tired of not having any money, you're tired of, you know, feeling paralyzed with fear, like you can't move forward, you're feeling hopeless, you're feeling lazy and slothful, a lot of times you will get to the point where you're like, I'm tired of this. This is not me. This is not the life I want. And in order to manifest the life you want, call in the life that you want and be happy, in balance, in harmony, and peace, and joy, you need to get rid of the negative energy. You need to know what you're up against. You need to know what you're praying against, what you're working against. Don't be fearful of the energies. Get rid of them. Just get rid of them. It's not that hard to work and get rid of them. There's no reason to be afraid. I understand they may appear in dreams, pop up in your room or something like that, but it's actually, if you are determined and you are trying to stand in your power and reclaim your power, it's actually quite easy once you get into believing in yourself and knowing that this is something that you can get rid of, that you do not have to give in to what these people are trying to dictate for your life. You can change your life whenever you decide that you want to change it. If you're fed up now, do something about it. It can be done. You don't have to sit there and allow these people to do spells on you and bind you and all of this stuff. Start working against it. Connect with the Most High God. Connect with your spirit team if you believe in your spirit team. Start praying and working against these negative energies, and you will see your life turn around for the better. So I hope this message helps someone. keep moving forward. Those of you going through spiritual warfare, reclaim your power. Please reclaim your power and start fighting against this stuff so you can change your life and manifest the life that you want. Do not allow these people to make you think that you have to do what they want you to do and keep you under their power, under their control, because you don't. All right. I hope this message helps someone, and I will be back again with another video soon. Bye.